when it comes to the holy days versus the holidays. So I'm invited to what's known as a holiday, HOLI day, Thanksgiving. And, my thoughts about it is because I don't celebrate it. And, to properly convey why I don't celebrate it, it's because it's not rooted in our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It wasn't instituted from the beginning, but rather instituted by man. So, though it's a time where people, families get together, just like all the other holidays, when we go over the scripture and it states that Yah is not pleased with those feast days, and he doesn't recognize them. We got to understand the deceit and the confusion, because we are operating in an ordination of man, commandments of man rather than Yah. And again, Yah is making a distinction via his word. Because it say every man gonna go back to his own country, his own people. So if the end of Esau is the beginning of Jacob, Jacob goes back to his heritage, which means he comes, and it's the dry bones coming together. He's joining the two sticks back together, the northern and the southern kingdoms, and all the strangers that will be joined unto us. So to make it's like if you have been taught something for hundreds of years, it becomes what's passed down to you. As a people, we never celebrated Thanksgiving. It has no roots in our Elohim. It has no roots in peace. It has no roots in love. It's rooted in lies for the breaking of treaties. It's rooted in covetousness, stealing of land. It's rooted in murder, thou shalt not kill. But yet the deception has been passed on so that it's celebrated continuously as a way to bring families together. But the root is of man and not of our Elohim. So to get the full blessing, see, Yah is making a distinction. When people say it don't matter, then you have to ask and say, well, does covenant matter? Biblically, who did our Elohim make a covenant with? And you have to ask yourself, is that covenant still in effect this day? Does Yah make a distinction? He continuously say his heritage. He continually say his people. And he is quite specific. He says Israel and he says Yahudah. All right. If you don't know who Israel is, if you don't know who Yahudah is, you can't properly understand prophecy. So to make the transition, we say, well, it's a time of family. and God allows us to come together, and we thank him. But at the same time, are we getting the full benefit? He's making a distinction as he's saying, come out of Babylon, my people, O nation not desired. You got to understand, who is his people and who is he talking to and what is the purpose? I want to receive blessings from the Most High God through his son Yeshua. I want to receive miracles. I want to receive love. I want to receive mercy. I want to receive forgiveness. All right. Now, again, if all you've been taught is something that's rooted in murder, rooted in covetousness, the theft of man, in lies, the breaking of treaties, all right, and then also you continue that tradition that has a root of evil, and at the same time you in bondage because you take all that you have, or you take what you have and you spend it getting I'm trying to make this smooth because people will be like, well, why should I switch from what I've been doing to this? And see, that's a good question. That's the question. Yeshua said, if you love me, keep my commandments. All right. So part of the commandments are to keep these holy days. All right. That's part of the requirement for the gathering is to come back to the commandments. We're not saved by them because we confess Yeshua. All right. And we can't do everything properly the way that we ought to in our land, but Yah wants to see it in our hearts. Because he said he's going to write his law upon our hearts. So it's going to be in our heart to want to do his holy days. Like right now, it's in our heart to do the holidays of the traditions of men. It's in our heart to do that. But Yah is telling his people to come back to the heart of his holy days, and based on the understanding of the holy days that we're supposed to do, miracles start to happen. All right? Miracles start to happen. Healings start to happen. He wants that to get into our heart as a nation. He's saying, hey, I won't force you, but I'm letting you know that the end of Esau is the beginning of Jacob. All right? And there's a division. You can love who you want to love. He's stating there's a distinction. If you don't know about prophecy, then it don't matter to you. You blind. And the world continues on and you miss out on blessings. But he states in Acts, he says to Abram, he says, know of a surety that thy seed will be bondage in a land that their fathers do not, and that the land that they would be in bondage to, they would be there for 400 years, and they would be that nation they would entreat them wickedly and evil. And he said, after those 400 years, that nation shall he judge, and after that, his people gonna come and serve him in his place. If you don't understand prophecy, if you don't understand who he's speaking to, how can the prophecy begin to be fulfilled? But right now, the wheel is already turning. The prophecy is already starting to be fulfilled. The judgment's already started to come down on these nations, all right, that we in bondage to, that constantly treat us wickedly, all right? It's through crafty counsel and deception. It ain't racist. Yeshua stated, he said, And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. He said he has come to set the captives free. Don't doubt that Yah don't love you, because he do. It says in his word, he ain't cast away the people which he foreknew. So he's saying his people are still his people in effect to this day. So the thing would be, how does one transition into something that they've learned 400 years ago? How do they transition from that into that which was ordained thousands of years ago? I believe you have to have some sense of national pride. Because he says, "O nation not desired." You got to know that, hey, this is what makes you the head and not the tail. And you have to say, I'm tired of being the tail. I'm tired of being shot. All right? I'm tired of being stolen from. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of being manipulated. I want shalom. I want peace. I want joy. I want my sons and my daughters to have shalom and peace and joy. And I want them to have long life. I want them to have longevity. Now, if we currently at the tail, but we supposed to be the head, we have to ask ourselves, well, what can we do to be back in the spot that we supposed to be? And we don't have to put up our dukes. We don't have to fight nobody, box nobody, shoot nobody, because Yah says we ain't going to have no might in our hands. So it's going to be him that's going to fight our battle. So when we have to make this conscious decision to say, Yah, you said that we can prove you at your word. So we, the people of the covenant that the blood was sprinkled over, when we came out of Egypt and the covenant was made, and all of our people said they're going to abide by the covenant, that blood was sprinkled on our ancestors, and it's going to continue forever. We under these curses because we broke the covenant, and there are enemies who did crafty counsel to keep us in a perpetual state of cursing ourselves, which keeps us at the tail. Foundational blocks are, what is it, Hosea 5 and 6 or Hosea 4 and 6 or 4 and 5, where he says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And because we reject knowledge, he will reject us as his priest. And because we reject knowledge, he will also forget our children. That's why we're at the tail. All right? You've been looked at so much, excuse my French, as being a nigger, as being no good, as being a liar, as being a thief, as being a thug, as being a whoremonger, as being a hoe. Uneducated, unmotivated, lazy. All to keep you in that mindset. They give you things to keep you in that mindset. But don't you want better for your children? If you know you're supposed to be the head, but you're operating at the tail, and Yah has given you the prescription to be healed. Yeshua said he ain't come to, he said the physicians have no need of healing, but those which are sick. So Yah wants to heal us as a nation, and he's making that division, and he's saying, hey, it's your time. It's your time. These dry bones are slowly going to come together, whether many accept it or just a few accept it. You find it in the word and you walk in the word. Who, if they hate you, they hate the Most High. All right. And when we assemble ourselves together in like manner and we celebrate these holy days, He gonna continue to increase us. We can't stop prophecy. If you don't know who you are, who the Most High is speaking to when it comes to prophecy, it cannot be fulfilled. Now, if people love you while they doing these man-ordained holy holidays, they gonna love you or should love you when you go back to the holy days as commanded by our Elohim. All praises to the Most High Yah, in the name of Yeshua, by way of the Ruach and the covenant made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.